So I'm Ashna, right? I'm an IELTS instructor, and today we're going to take you through how to book your IELTS test. So do we all know what is an IELTS test and why do we take it? Let's take it that way. Do we all know what is an IELTS test and why do we take it? Okay, so IELTS is International English Language Testing System, and we take this exam if we want to go abroad, right? Now we have different purposes of going abroad. This we will discuss later in today's session. But let's start with how do we book our IELTS test, because this is one thing that we all get confused with. Right, first of all, when you want to book an IELTS test, there are two bodies that conduct this IELTS test, but we'll definitely go with IDP because British Council has usually, so in India, IDP is the body that conducts an IELTS exam, and that is mostly, that mostly has dominated the British Council. So you go on Google, you go on any search engine, and you have to type book an IELTS exam. I want everybody to make their notes so that, you have this as a flow chart. So when you're going back home and trying to book your test, you don't face any questions, right? So you go onto Google and you type book an IELTS exam, right? When you'll type this, a lot of these links would come up. Book my IELTS test IDP Global, IELTS test registration IELTS IDP India, and book a test IELTS. These are the three links that are going to prompt in the search engine when you will say book an IELTS exam, right? Once this is done, you're going to move ahead and you will come across this link, which says book my IELTS test, and IDP Global is written in front of it, right? IDP is the body that conducts the IELTS exam, right? When you see this link, please click on this link, right? What do you need to click on? You have to click on this, book my IELTS test, IDP Global, right? Yeah, I would recommend everybody to do that, right? Okay, then you have to log on to IELTS India website. When you click on this link, this first thing will appear or will prompt. It says IELTS India website. Right now, let me just admit more people. Okay, once this is done, you're going to see this. Now you come to this page. This is what? This is the official page of the IDP website, right? All cool? Okay, so this is what it says. You have this home page. Now, one thing is the email is written, then you have a number, you have this login button, right? You don't have a login ID yet, right? It says IELTS on computer, register for IELTS, prepare for IELTS, information, contact us, book now. Do you all see this on the right hand side? Let me just mark this for you. Do you all see this? Register for your test, right? So this will be there on the screen which says register for your test, select test, test type, test city, and book now. There are 4 options, right? You're going to see this. Now let me take you to another screen and show, yes. So this is where you have to go to, right? This is where you have to go to. Now, select test means obviously it's going to be the IELTS test that you're going to select. It'll have 2 options. What 2 options it'll have? One is the computer-based IELTS test, and second is the pen and paper IELTS test, right? Both of these tests are similar. What is the difference? Obviously, the difference is one is on a digital platform and another uses pen and paper. Now, if somebody tells you there is difference in the questions, the type of questions that you get, no, that's not true. It's exactly the same. The pattern is same. The body that conducts the test is same. It only depends upon how you want to take it, right? So you can take any test, whatever you're comfortable with. If you think you're comfortable with a pen and paper thing, you can go for that. If you think you're comfortable with a computer delivered exam, then you can go for that as well, right? Now the next thing that they ask you is test type. Now what is this test type? There are two types of IELTS exam. One is academic IELTS exam and another is general IELTS exam. Both of these IELTS exams are different, and when you're choosing the test type, you have to be really, really careful, right? Because if you choose academic, then you're going to sit for the academic exam. It becomes mandatory for you to take the academic exam, and your money goes into waste, right? Unless you provide a reason of not booking the other test. Another is general. Same goes for general as well. Now, who takes the academic test and who takes the general test? Anybody has any, information around academic and general exam?
I would like to.
Yeah, sure. Raki, go ahead.
Yeah, so in academic, when you book an academic test or exam, that means you're going abroad for a study on a study basis. But if you book a general one, then you're going on some work basis.
Work basis. Okay, yeah, very nice. I think that's it. Raki has thrown some light on this. So academic exam is taken by people who want to go abroad and study, want to go abroad and do their undergrad or masters or anything. It is related to education purpose. If you have applied for some university or going to apply for any university, then you take an academic exam. But general exam is taken by those people who want to go for PR or on a work visa. So if you want to go for a PR and you have applied for a PR, or you want to apply for a PR, you cannot apply for a PR unless you've taken this exam. So if you want to apply for a PR, you have to take a general exam. These two exams are different. The pattern is also different, right? That is why it becomes important and mandatory for you to choose the appropriate exam. Then the third thing is test city. Now this test happens pan-India, across India, right? So for example, you're in Pune, right? So you can have your exam there. If you are in a city where this exam does not happen, for example, your hometown is in a village or a suburb or somewhere else, then you choose the nearest location. For example, in Punjab, there are a lot of small towns where this exam is not conducted. So you can have this exam in Patiala, you can have this exam in Amritsar, you can have this exam in Chandigarh. So whatever is the nearest place, you choose that accordingly. All right. Once you select the test city, then you go on, you see this. Okay, you see this. Now, what is this? Exam date comes up. There are a lot of dates for you to select. Okay. Now, usually an IELTS exam in one city happens on 3 to 4 dates. So you might have 5th, you can have 11th, you can also have it on 20th and 25th. The 3 or 4 dates, they come up. And if the slots are available, it's going to show you those dates only. So you choose the date accordingly, according to you, right? So 3-4 dates are there, available slots are there on 3-4 dates. So you choose your date accordingly. Okay, this much is okay, right? For example, you've chosen one date, which is 14th of July. This is all hypothetical, okay? For example, if you've chosen this date, then test type is academic and this is computer delivered IELTS test. Then it'll show you the price. What is the price of the IELTS test? It has increased a little over the years. It has become 15,500 now. This is the price of booking the IELTS test. Okay, this is the cost, right? Now it also says this one line that says the selected test date is for listening, reading, and writing. Speaking schedule shall be communicated separately. Please understand, be it general or be it academic exam, there are 4 modules in your IELTS test. What are these 4 modules? You have reading, you have listening, you have writing, and you have speaking. These are the 4 modules that you have in your IELTS test, be it general or academic. Reading, listening, and writing happen on the same day. Speaking happens on a different day. I repeat, speaking happens on a different day. The date of which you get 2 days prior to your test, to your reading, listening, and writing test. It can happen 2 days or 3 days before the test. or it can happen 2 days or 3 days after the test also. So 1 week prior or 1 week after the reading, listening and writing exam. And that is why they've given you an alert here. Good, everybody, are we good with this?
Oh, I have one question.
Please.
Yeah, so after the first module of listening, reading, and writing, the speaking test can be, is it important that there should be gap of week, or it can be happen in the next day also?
It can happen on the next day also.
Okay.
Right? You might have gap of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, right? I think 6 are the maximum days that they put the gap, or you can have it on the next day also. Okay. All right, now they have listed few terms and conditions. You read the transfer and cancellation policy nicely, because you do not get a refund, and then you accept it and then you move forward, right? I would suggest you to go through the cancellation and refund policy nicely, because even if there is a medical issue and you have booked an exam, so there is maybe a partial refund. It depends upon your medical situation, and then you have to provide your medical certificates to IDP. So if you don't want to make it chaotic or clumsy or difficult for you, so please read the cancellation and refund policies carefully before booking the exam. All right. Then you come here. You come to the registration process. Let's look at it. You choose the title. I hope title is clear to everybody. If you are doctor, Mr., Mrs., Miss, whatever you can choose. Once you've given our first name is like, for example, my name is Ashna Shah. So my first name is Ashna, and my last name, or we also call it the family name, it's Shah, S-H-E-H. So you give your name, you give your email ID. Please give proper details, because if once you've given these details, they might not get right. So please put in your proper details, give your email ID where you want all the information to come and everything, your receipt and everything. So give your proper email, give your proper mobile number, because your test score and result comes on your email and mobile number. Now, ID document, they only take the passport. In IELTS exam, they only consider passport as your ID, no other ID works. So ID document is going to be the password, and ID number, enter your ID number, is the passport number. Whatever number you have on your passport, you fill that. You fill till what date your passport is valid up to, and your proper date of birth. Now they say, do you have a permanent disability such as a visual, hearing, or specific learning difficulty which requires special arrangements? For example, modified material, extra time, use of technology. So if you have, you put in yes, and if you don't, you put in no, right? They're asking this because they want to check. Yes, Arman.
Yes, ma'am. Just I want to say that I have my nephew brother. Actually, he have some disabilities over in legs. Then he have to submit some certificate or
No.
something
In
of
legs,
condition.
now they're saying permanent disability such as visual, hearing, or specific learning difficulty. If it is regarding the legs, no, right? If it would have been hands regarding the writing thing, because this test has got nothing to do with legs, right? So I don't think this will be considered. But yes, hearing or any learning ability or any special requirements that you have, then you put in yes and fill in the requirements. Otherwise, you can just proceed with no. Once this is done, you proceed, you move on to the next page, right? They're going to show you your ID number, passport ID number. ID document is obviously the passport. They're going to show you valid up to the date of birth. They'll give you the title. You have to give your gender. You have to give your first name, last name, email. Please check all of these details. Now they are just giving you a heads up that everything is put in and everything is accurate. You put in the confirmation email here, right? You put in the email address again. You put in your correct mobile number. You confirm your mobile number, and you put in telephone. Now in telephone, you can maybe give any guardian's number, friend's number. Maybe, if this number doesn't work or something, you can get your result, or if there's any issue, you can get your result on that particular number. So you can choose
Hello.
another number. Yes, hi.
Hello.
Amit.
So I have a middle name, ma'am.
You
I
have a
middle
middle
name too.
Okay, you have a middle name. All right.
Name.
So you can, I think you can put it with your first name only. That is okay. You put in your first name, then middle name in the first column and your last name in the next column. But your name has to be there like it appears on your passport. All right. It should match with your passport. All right. Then you put in your address, your current address. Why you see, they have written, please note you will only be sent one copy of your result. They'll send you a hard copy also of your result. So please ensure the correct mailing address is given since your results will be sent to this address. So whatever is your home address or wherever you want your result, put proper address with all PIN code, etc. You put in your city, right? City of the address that you put in, the state, and PIN, zip or postcode wherever it is. Country of nationality, I hope everyone's Indian here, or if not, if you have a different passport, then you put that. For example, if you're a European, if you're carrying a European passport, then you can put that also, country of nationality. Right? You will put your first language as Hindi, right? Then occupation, whatever is your occupation. If you're a student, put in you're a student. If you're working in any sector, you choose your sector. Accordingly, put in your occupation. If there's anything else, you specify. Occupation level, if you're on an intermediate level, if you're on a beginner level, or if you're in a high position, you have options there. Choose that. If any other, please specify. Why are you taking this test? Right? They'll ask you, why are you taking this test? So you put in your reason, you want to go for higher education. This is for PR this thing, or work visa. They have all of these options. So you choose accordingly. Which country are you applying to or intending to go? Applying to or intending to go, whatever is your preference of country. It can be England, it can be Canada, it can be Australia, whatever it is your preference of country, put in that. Where are you currently studying English if applicable? What level of, so this can be India if you're learning. What level of education have you completed? Have you completed bachelor's? Is it master's? Is it a certificate course? They'll have all of these options. You put in that. How many years have you been studying English? So if you have studied from an English medium school, then it will count the number of years you've been studying English. Or if you are from a Hindi medium school, then you choose, maybe you can choose 3 years if you're working, or 4 years. Or if you studied English in college, then maybe you can select 2 or 3 years, whatever years, and you put in this. This information is clear? Everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Fine. Now you come here to the document upload. Now this is not mandatory. You can either upload or you can skip this option. It says upload first page of passport copy. So you scan the first page of your passport copy and upload. And the next is upload last page of your passport copy with address. This is optional. If you want to, you can. If you don't want to, you leave it, right? So this is optional. Next is recognize organizations. Again, this is optional. For example, I'm just saying this for an example. If if Canada has given you a work visa, if some country has, if some company has sponsored you from Canada, then this is applicable. Otherwise, this is optional. You can just leave this option. Which country are you applying to or intending to go? You can put in Canada, for example. Then which organization has sponsored you, you can put that. You can put the name of the person or the department that has sponsored you. You can put case number, file number. This is only for PR people, right? So you can add that. Otherwise, you can just leave it. This is optional. Clear? Then you move on to the proceed to payment page, right? This is obviously important. Please fill it wisely. There are different payment options. So this is, you can do it online payment is there. You can do it through your Visa card, MasterCard, or wallets. Wallets are what Razorpay. You can do it through Paytm. Then there's net banking, UPI option also. And once you have paid 15,500 rupees, you immediately get an email. You immediately get an email along with the text message on the number that you have provided. Now, sometimes this happens that you might not get the address of the place where this exam is conducted. Okay, this happened with me, right? So what happened? I called up the IDP people, the number that is given on the website. Then these guys told me that it is not mandatory that you get, so you will get the address where your exam is being conducted 2 days prior to the exam date. For example, if your exam date is 16, so you will get the address on 14th of July, right? So don't panic in that situation. And for your speaking test, you have to keep going, you have to log in, you have to keep going through the portal and see when is your speaking test. That's how you get to know. Or you can keep checking your text messages, you can keep checking your email, and or you can just keep logging into your IDP account and keep watching for address and your speaking date. Okay, so this IELTS result is valid for 2 years. So if you want to go for next year September intake, and if you take the IELTS exam now after the preparation, good deal, take it. You never know, the prices might hike up, right? Usually doesn't happen, but just to be on a safer side. If you're prepared, if you think you're good to go, just take the IELTS exam. The score is valid for 2 years, right? So it's totally your call. My suggestion would be, if you're prepared, if you think you're ready to go, take it.
Yes, ma'am. So regarding the computer-based IELTS exam, so we need to go to the test center for computer-based IELTS exam.
Yes, you have to go to the test center for computer-delivered IELTS exam, right? And yeah, so you have all of these modules that are there, and the questions don't differ, but yes, the computer is different from pen and paper. That's the only difference.
Yep. Thank you.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah. Hi, Urvesh. Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. There was a question that how many years have you studied in English? So was it like inclusive of second language, English as a second language?
Second language as in?
Yeah, as in my mother tongue, and the medium of education was in Gujarati till 12th.
Okay.
So,
Till 12th, right?
Yes.
So did you study English? Was English as a subject in your exam or in your school?
Yes, in school it was. Then
obviously you have studied English.
Okay.
So I'll put it like that. Like, if you haven't studied English in all of these years in your school, then you have to see, is it 3 or 4 years? If English was a subject, then obviously you have been studying English, that means.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other question? All right. No. See, when you start applying for a PR, or if you are trying for a university, every university, before you apply, they need, like, before they give you that offer letter to come and join their organization or university, they need to see your IELTS score. So your IELTS exam has to be there before you apply, be it PR, because in PR also, if you're putting a profile for PR, then they require an IELTS exam, be it Canada or anywhere else. That proficiency test is required. So yes, that has to be done before. Okay. Hi, Neha. Can I know the timeline of result once we have given IELTS exam? Yes, you can know the timeline of your result. You get your result within 15 days, not more than that. Your result will be out within 15 days. And for computer delivered exam, it usually comes within 7 days. And where does it come? I've already told you, your email, your phone number. Okay. Any other questions from anyone?
मैम मैं कहना चाहूँ मैम कि कितने टाइम पहले हम बुक कर सकते हैं मैक्सिमम?
कितना टाइम पहले बुक कर सकते हैं? हर महीने होता है. This happens every month, right? For example, आपको अगस्त में देना है, right? Okay. And आपका, if you book an, I explained this before the, in the initial slides, that for example, आपको अगस्त में देना है, that you want to appear in August, and there are 4 dates. For example, 15th August. तो अगर आप 14th को भी भरते हैं and 15th का slot available है, तो उसमें जाके दे सकते हैं. Okay. And what is the validity of the result? Result is valid for 2 years. Okay. 2 years, yeah. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, Nikhil is asking if we do not get desired band score after how many weeks or months we can again give the exam. You can give this exam anytime. For example, you have booked an exam for 15th August, your result comes out on 30th of August, and you have not achieved your desired band score, and the next is what? September date is what, 5th of September. You can book for that also. You don't need any gap to book another IELTS exam. This is totally your call. Okay, Nikhil? But I don't think you should be aiming for this. Try to get your desired band score in one go only. Prepare as such so that you get your desired band score in one go. Why do you want to spend another 15,500 rupees?
Yes. Now, I have a doubt about a certificate that is issued later on, and it is that if I give IELTS for 2 times per se, and will the latest certificate be having the mention of my first attempt date or result or any kind of thing?
The first attempt, no.
It won't have any details of
it won't have any mention of your first attempt. No.
Or number of attempts that I have given, anything like that.
No, nothing like that. Unless you're caught cheating or you're carrying some thing, then obviously they can ban you. So you have to be really, really careful about that. Otherwise, you can have any number of attempts. But I would really suggest you guys, IELTS is mandatory. IELTS is important. IELTS is not an easy exam, and IELTS requires a lot of hard work and dedication and proper guidance, like tips and tricks. And so I would really suggest you to prepare well in advance and clear your IELTS exam in one go. It is a great feeling. So yeah, anything else? Let me explain you with annotate this. Now there are 4 modules in your IELTS test. Right? Speaking, listening, writing, and reading. All of these 4 modules are mandatory for you to attempt. Okay. Now for speaking, I have already told you that speaking exam does not happen on the same day as listening, writing, and reading exam. You get a separate date for that. Now, these modules, the speaking module and the listening module, they are same for both academic or general. They are same, right? You get same type of questions. The pattern is same. But when it comes to writing and reading, it is different for academic or general. So when you are preparing for any of the exam, when you've decided that, okay, I have to write the academic exam or I have to write the general exam, when you're preparing, the preparation for listening exam and speaking exam would be in the same manner. So you can do whatever books you take or whatever coachings or whatever you join the classes or anything, it's going to be the same. But when it comes to writing and reading, it's different. The pattern is different. In reading also, you have different types of passages. The number of passages different. The difficulty level is also different, right? But and also in writing. Now let's talk about writing. Writing for academic, right? For writing for academic IELTS exam, there are going to be 2 tasks. Task 1 and task 2, right? In total, you get 60 minutes to do both of these tasks. Task 1 is your report writing. This is for academic students, report writing. What is report writing? I'll quickly give you a brief. You get a visual input. Now, this visual input can be in a form of a line graph, can be in a form of a bar graph, it can be a pie chart, it can be a table, it can be a process, any visual input you have, and you need to summarize the information in at least 150 words. All right. And in task 2, Task 2 is same for both academic and general. You need to write an essay. This has to be at least 250 words. Task 1 is different. In academic, you get report writing, whereas in general exam, you get a letter. You have to write a letter, again, at least 150 words. Task 2 is same, essay, at least 250 words. Right? So this is the difference between IELTS general and IELTS academic. Right? Speaking and listening are same. Again, reading exam for both general and IELTS, general and academic is for 60 minutes, 1 hour, and you need to perform 40 questions. You need to do 40 questions, no negative marking, which means you're going to attempt all the questions. Same for both general and academic. Listening exam is only for 30 minutes. You get headphones, obviously. The audio gets played. 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, you get extra 10 minutes to transfer your answers from the question booklet to the answer sheet. Which means when you're listening, you'll parallelly mark your answers. And when 30 minutes are up, you'll have extra 10 minutes to transfer your answers from the question booklet to the answer sheet.
Ma'am, you said there is no negative marking. So is there any
No.
negative marking in one of these modules? In speaking, listening?
No
listening?
negative marks. See, in speaking, obviously it can't have negative marks because there are no questions as such. You don't have to type or anything. So speaking depends all upon the examiner. There are certain criteria, right, on which you are assessed. You'll get to know when you are there in the classes. So they give you the band score. And then listening has 40 questions. But there is no negative marking in listening also, and reading also has 40 questions. There is no negative marking, which means that you should be attempting all the questions.
So writing, like writing and reading within 1 day, right?
Okay, listening, writing, reading happens on the same day. So it'll almost take you 2.5 hours straight. First, you'll have the listening thing. Then you have the writing. Then you have the reading. Earlier, the pattern was different. You had listening, reading, and writing. Now you have listening, writing, and reading. Right? So it happens continuously, straight for 2.5 hours on the same day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I got to know about this change of order for modules for paper-based writing exam, but like I tried to search on the official website of IDP and IELTS also, but I could not find any documentary evidence for the same. Can you guide me? Like, where can I?
Proper evidence for what? Computer delivered?
No, for paper-based exam.
Okay, yeah. Recently, this has been changed.
Yeah, so actually, I tried to search the same on the official website.
But a few students have recently appeared, and we got to know that this was this. Okay. So this is the sequence. You are listening, then you 60 minutes writing, and then 60 minutes reading.
Yes, because
it hardly makes any difference. But yeah.
Because they have not yet updated on their official website.
Might not have. But this is the sequence which has been followed now. Okay, speaking test happens on a different date, like I told you, and the entire speaking test lasts for 15 to 20 minutes, not more than that. Right? From the time you enter the room and you exit, it'll be like 15 to 20 minutes, not more than that. After how many of speaking, listening, writing, and reading exam going to happen? After how many days of speaking? Okay. So you might have your speaking test before the other 3 modules, or you might happen afterwards. So I can't promise you that you'll have it before the reading, the writing, and listening exam. It can happen afterwards also. Maximum 7 days. It doesn't take more than that. Is there any dress code for speaking test? No, Sneha, there is no dress code, but I would advise you to dress nicely. You can dress casually also, but wear a proper shirt or a proper t-shirt or a proper top and pants or anything, whatever you like. But everybody should dress decently when you're going to take an exam. But there is no dress code. Which is better, computer or pen or paper? Okay, like I said before, there is nothing like that. Both exams are same. Whatever you're comfortable with, if you're comfortable with a computer-based exam, if you're good at typing things, your typing speed is good, appear for that. If you think your typing is better when you use a pen and you write better with a pen and your speed is good, because you only get 60 minutes, you have to perform 2 tasks, you have to manage your time accordingly. Arman, there is no dress code for men also, but please dress decently. That would be my advice or suggestion. Again and again, I'm telling you, read the policies, the refund policies, the cancellation policies beforehand, so that even if any unfortunate circumstance or medical condition comes up, you know what you get or what you don't, right? So read them carefully, please. And keep checking your portal for dates and results, etc. Otherwise, you get your results on emails and text messages also. Is there any rule in pen and paper exam, like in color of pen, writing everything in caps or small, etc.? Okay, good question. Neha, first of all, even if you don't carry your pen and paper, I suggest you to carry your pen, your pencil, your eraser, sharpener, everything with you, along with you. Though it is also provided at the test center. They give you that proper kit of eraser, sharpener, pen and pencil. The color of the ink, no, they are not particular about any color of the ink. You can use black or blue. But yes, when the exam starts, they give you instructions that this has to be filled in with pen or this has to be filled in with pencil. So they'll give you the instruction at the test center itself. And yes, when you're writing, when you're performing your writing exam, no, it is not advised that you don't write in all caps. Obviously, when you're writing an essay or a report or a letter, it does not make any sense, because there you have to be particular about the punctuation. But when it comes to listening or reading, my advice or suggestion would be that you type all your answers in all caps, just to avoid any kind of punctuation error. For example, your answer is hello, so it should be written like this and not like this. Though this is not wrong, the second one is not wrong, but I would suggest you don't take a chance of punctuation thing and type all your listening and reading answers in all caps. Clear?
Yes, ma'am, clear.
That is awesome. Right.